Hello. Oh my God, it's finally here. I've been so excited all morning. Will you tell me in the chat? I'll see your name in the chat, but will you also tell me where you're located and your title? What type of therapist are you? I am a retired psychologist turned business coach, your new business bestie, and I'm in Toronto. Where are you? There's going to be so many people here. It's going to be a party. I'm so thrilled. Tell me in the chat what type of therapist you are. There's going to be all sorts of therapists from all the different places. Hi, Yasmin, psychiatrist from New Jersey. We've got somebody from Oregon. We've got Ed from San Diego, Danielle from Atlanta. Welcome, welcome. I love spending time with other therapists. All my friends are therapists. I don't know about you. It's just going to be the most magical hour. Welcome. Come on in. Tell me where you are located and what type of therapist you are. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to dive right in. Welcome, my beautiful friend, to a free 3-day marketing boot camp. Who's excited? Who's so ready to receive all the marketing goodness, all of the abundance as we end 2025? Will you put it? I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. The season of receiving, the holidays is a season of receiving. Here's my promise. Yay, Danielle, I'm excited. Alfred, I'm excited. My promise to you is I will give you everything I've got. Close every other window, close the door, turn off your phone. Let's go. I'm going to walk you through day one. Day one, day one of 3 days. Today, we're talking about something maybe you've never really thought of. This is so exciting, the aha moments that are coming. Specifically, how to turn progress reports, I'm going to explain what that means, into referral magnets. Now, before we get into day one, a couple of housekeeping items. Are you in our Facebook group? We have a private Facebook group just for us, by the way. There's over 4,000 of us in there just for the 3-day boot camp. It's in the chat. Click that link. You're going to love it over there. I'm going to be giving you a lot of information. If you know me from my podcast, you know I love strategy and tactics. I want you to know that I'm going to be doing a live Q&A at the end. But if you have questions while I'm talking, my team is in the chat. I literally have a team of 15, but 3 of them are here today answering your questions. So put them in, okay? You'll get an instant answer or we'll talk at the end. Who can come all 3 days? Can I check in? Are you committed for the next 3 days, today and Thursday and Friday? Drop a me if we're going to be hanging out for the whole time. You're in, give it your all. Yes. The more you give, the more you get. And there's prizes. I'm going to get to that in a sec. I have a companion guide for you. I don't know about you, but I learned by writing things down. Click the link in the chat for your companion guide. It's yours. Before we get started, I'm really curious, are you in solo? Right now, it's just you in private practice. Drop the word solo. Or are you in group? So it's you, and even if it's one other person, you have a group, my friend. Solo, some groups. Amazing. Lots of solos, but we've got some groups as well. Perfect. This conversation is for everybody here. It's even if you're virtual, if you're hybrid, if you're in person, if you're in Canada, and if you're in the States. The best part about today, it is a party. I was not lying. I'm giving away a free website audit. Here's how you win it. It's going to be at the end of the hour. All you need to do is stay to the end, engage in the chat, and then drop your website. And you can drop it right now. We're going to pick one. My team's literally going to pull them all, move them over to a document and pick one. And then I'm going to have eyes on it. So stay to the end so I can chat with you about it. Yeah. Tomorrow's all about websites, by the way, but I'm going to be giving away a free website audit every single day. If you're listening on the replay, if you jump in tomorrow, you still have a chance. You just have to be here live. Look at all these beautiful websites. I love the names. Intentional Growth, Simple Cures, really good. Okay, I can't wait to lay eyes on one of them. Are you feeling like, let's be real? I'm in Toronto. It is cold and dark. Are you just feeling exhausted from trying to figure it out on your own? Are you? The spaghetti on the wall. I used to be you before I grew into a group practice. Yeah, I see you, Monica, Lisa. There is a better way. I really want you to feel super supported over our next 3 days together and like held by my team. In our group, there's accountability. So make sure to jump into the Facebook group. We have accountability emails going out, community and support. Like, really, and like I said, the more you show up, the more that you will get. Before I get into it all, this strategy that nobody else is doing, I'd like to introduce myself. Just so I get a sense, though, do we already hang out? Will you let me know if we already hang out on Instagram? Maybe just drop the word IG or Facebook. Maybe it's the podcast. Anybody listening to the podcast? I love talking to you, the business savvy therapist. Amazing. So good. If you're new, will you drop the word hello? Just curious. Hello, hello. Say hello so we can welcome you with open arms. Look at you all. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my gosh, Devin, so amazing. I can't wait to see your face. Okay, I'm just going to quickly tell you who I am because your time is valuable. And I want to make sure that I show you that I'm going to give you a lot. As I mentioned, I'm a retired clinical psychologist turned business coach. Saying that out loud is always shocking still. I did EMDR and couples therapy for 15 years and I loved it. Any EMDR folks here? Couples therapy? I'm going to get into the nitty gritty in a sec, my backstory, but I want to share for a second a little bit about what I built. In 3 years, I built a group practice to 55 therapists while I had twins at home, which I'll get to in a sec. But here's some numbers that they don't tell us in graduate school. In our second year, we hit $1 million in revenue. And in our third year, we hit almost 3 million. But I'll tell you what I'm most proud of. It ran without me. I teach how to build something that is automated and revenue generating. And then guess what happens? Somebody will approach you to buy it, right? Because if it's running without you helping all the people, making all the impact, everyone's retained and staying. But I did not give it away to a private equity firm. I gave it to a psychiatrist who could take better care of my people. But this is the real backstory. You'll see me there very, very pregnant. And then you'll see me there passed out, burnt out on the couch. Anybody here feeling drained and overwhelmed? You see, in actually, first, I want to say this. Aren't we lucky? Guys, let's just take a minute. Aren't we lucky to do this work that's desperately needed? Drop an amen if you're like, yes, I feel so blessed. Like, do we actually get paid for this? It's unreal that we can charge what we charge and truly change someone's life. Like, nothing is better than that. I feel so blessed. And after 15 years of holding trauma and couples, I just became tired. And I became sick of hitting the ceiling in my income. If I was really honest, the amount of clients that I had to see, I won't even admit, honestly, it was too many. And then I become pregnant with twins. It's a miracle. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I can't see any more clients. What do? I need a bigger house. So guess what I did? Nothing. I did nothing because, and I wonder if you relate, I didn't know the first step to take and I didn't want to do it wrong. So I did nothing. Fast forward 2 years. That's a true picture. Mummy passed out. Jackson and Lucas are born and in the world, cute little chubby babies. And my beautiful husband snapped this picture. That's real life after a day of clients. There was one fateful day where I just hit rock bottom. I pulled up. My babies were waiting for me again. I spent 1 hour with them before they went to bed. I would pull up at 7 p.m., put them to bed at 8, and I just said, I can't. I'm not living the life I tell my clients to. I can't anymore. And that was the day that I got a business coach and I hired. And then you know the rest of my results. It was a windy road, though. I had to figure out so much. And when I sold, I said, you know what? Okay, I'm retired now, but I'm going to help my peers. I'm going to give it all to them. And here we are today. I've helped over 1,000 therapists across North America, every state and province, build group practices. But today, specifically, we're talking marketing. Now, it is the holiday time, so I have some prizes. Then we're going to get into it all. Do you like presents? I'm giving away today 5 of my meditation vaults. I meditate every morning. I calibrate my energy to something greater than me. And it shifts my whole day. Any meditators here? This is how you win. I have a podcast. A lot of you listen to it. It's called The Business Savvy Therapist. All you have to do is we're going to click the link for the podcast. Just go to the podcast, Spotify or Apple, doesn't matter, and rate it. Rate it and follow it. And if you're like, oh, I've never listened to it before, don't worry. We're not mentioning the winner until tomorrow. So you have all day. And I'm going to mention a podcast that you should listen to soon. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be mentioning or listing the 5 winners. So, what is a meditation vault? It is a whole digital, like access to 10 guided visualizations with me where we help you overcome, like it's about manifestation, money manifestation, letting go of resistance, really stepping into your confidence. So tomorrow we release the 5 people, the 5 winners, and every day we have more prizes. All you have to do is follow and rate the podcast, and you have a whole day to do it. And even if you do it now, you can literally just tell us in the chat because we're tracking everything on the inside, okay? Amazing. Oh, Tara, I love that you love the podcast. Before we start, let's do a poll, shall we? Here's what I want to know. Because this is really good to know from each other, where are the majority of your referrals coming from right now? You'll see a poll pop up in just a sec. There it is. Go ahead and answer. Is it Google? Is it family doctors? Word of mouth? Is it okay? Social media or Psychology Today? So right now, the winner is word of mouth. We'll give it a sec. And Psychology Today. Okay. Okay. So I would say most of you, it's like 50-50. Do you guys see that? I'm going to share. I think most of you have clicked it. I'm going to end poll and I'm going to give you the results. You see them, share results there. So today we're going to be talking about one where you're not getting referrals yet, which is so perfect. Are you ready? Sharpen your pencil. You are going to love this. Did you know? Now, the poll doesn't say this for the people here. I do my own statistics in my coaching program, and we found that one of the top sources to get referrals is family doctors. And you're not, some of you are, and some of you are not. Now, this is what we're talking about today. What do you think there's a top 3. What do you think the other 2 are? Word of mouth makes sense. If you're struggling in your marriage, where do you go? Obviously, your best friend to say, who helped you in your marriage? But if you can't sleep and it's been weeks, where do you go? Maybe your family doctor if you're having panic attacks, depression, seasonal affective disorder. Okay, some of you say, exactly. So Rochelle is right. Number 1, family doctors, or it's your friend, or guess where else it is? Google. It is Google. But today we're going to be talking about one that is free and you can do right away. Family doctors. Now, marketing to family doctors, there's 2 ways to do this. There's the way that I used to talk about, which I'm going to walk you through, but then I noticed there was some friction, and then I came up with something even better. And can I just tell you, the members in my program are getting unbelievable results from this one way of doing it. So here's what I mean. The first is cold outreach. So what that means is calling the family doctor. Have you tried that ever? Here's the problem. It sounds amazing. Let's say you can do a Google map search, call family doctors within a 5 mile or kilometer radius. But what's the problem is there's a gatekeeper, isn't there? You can't get to the doctor. And a lot of you, here's the biggest thing. You got it, Katrin. The biggest thing is you just weren't doing it. You just weren't doing it. You know why? Because it's terrifying, isn't it? Picking up the phone and like cold calling, that's something you're going to put off. So I was noticing you're putting it off. So I'm like, okay, so how do we tweak this to make it easy? Well, this is what you're learning today. Number 2 is what we're talking about. What if you sent ongoing progress reports to stay top of mind to ensure continued referrals? Here's what I mean. You know how you write your clinical notes after every session? What if once a month you were to compile, I'm going to show you how to do this in an easy way, a progress report, the progress of the client, how they've been doing in the last 3 to 4 sessions, and you sent that to the doctor. Because progress reports are easier than cold calling. And I'm noticing my members are actually doing it. Here's why this works. It keeps you top of mind because every month you're sending the clients. So let's say you have a client, Joe. I'm going to share how to get consent from Joe. Don't worry, we're not sending anything without consent here. But he says, yeah, sure. Please talk to my doctor. I'm on medication. I want him to know I'm doing EMDR. You're going to once a month do a progress report and you send that to the doctor. So why is that marketing? Well, this is called really good client care because Joe's not paying for this. This is a free service. And don't worry, I'll walk you through how much time it takes. It's not a lot. But guess what? Why this is marketing is it gets to the doctor. Pretend I'm the doctor. And I get this progress report. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of this therapist before, but oh, wow, it looks like Joe's doing better. And then the next month, I get another progress. Oh, Joe's back to work. What the? And then all day long, I'm seeing another, 50 patients, because I'm a family doctor and I see a lot of people. Guess who's top of mind? You. Guess who's I might be saying the next person who says, I can't sleep, I'm having a panic attack, I'm depressed and anxious. Guess what I'm going to say? Oh, well, I just read this work from this other therapist. Guys, type a yay if you're like, oh my God, it's kind of genius, isn't it? It's bypassing the admin, getting to the family doctor. It's clinical care. And the person gets better faster. Maybe the doctor doesn't increase the meds because they know, well, Joe is regressing a bit, but it's because he's doing trauma work and exposure therapy. Like, shouldn't we be talking to the doctors all of the time? This works because it bypasses the front desk gatekeeper. You don't have to cold call, and it's distinctive. But you're not just doing it for Joe, you're doing it for the other 10 clients. And then I had 55 therapists on my team. Can you imagine if we did it for a portion of them? It becomes a marketing snowball. And I'm going to walk you through, don't worry, all the details and the nitty gritty. But here's the truth. Even if you call and you get through, they say, yep, you can talk to the doctor, and you talk to the doctor. Let's say you go and meet them. You drop some pamphlets off. I don't believe in pamphlets, by the way. I'll tell you why if we ever work together. Let's save the paper. Guess what happens? I'm sure this has happened to you. Dr. Smith will start referring to you. He liked you. You do all of these things, IFS, EMDR, CBT, exposure, CBTI, great. But do you notice that over time, humans forget? Even myself, I'll get excited about a book. Do you ever notice this in therapy? And I'm telling all the clients about the book. Like, it's in all my notes. You have to read this book. And then as time goes by, I just slowly but surely, attrition happens and I don't bring up the book anymore. It's just humanness. The same happens with the family doctor, which is why we're sending progress reports every single month, not just to this doctor, because every client has a different doctor. Okay. I have a whole podcast episode on this. We'll drop it in the chat. Don't worry, if you're on the replay, it'll be on the replay page for you. I talked about the summer slump. Obviously, it's not the summer. I wish it was, but it's a really good episode. So jump in there at some point, okay? See if you want to like listen while you're doing the dishes tonight. What I love about this, and I'm so excited to get to deep dive into it, is it's free. Oh, finally, something that works and it's free. And you can do it today. You're going to write a lot of notes and you can implement it right away. And then they won't forget about you. And this is constantly building trust. And the best part, they see the quality of your work. It's pretty cool. They're like, wow, okay. I didn't know this type of treatment exists. In case you do like cold calling, I have a script for you. I'm going to give you these slides too. I'll tell you how to get them soon. If you do want to call, because you don't have to call, you're just going to start sending the progress reports. And I'll walk you through nitty gritty how to do that. But let's say you want to call. This is what you'll say. Hi, Dr. Pham. This is Nicole, clinical psychologist. I wanted to let you know that we're starting a new service where we send brief progress reports to family doctors. And many doctors are finding it really helpful. We wanted to let you know we'll be sending these for our shared patients, and I'm happy to tailor them to your preferences. Do you have any preferences? And they might say, oh, that's amazing. Yes, we want to know what modalities you're using, like add all of this to the progress report. So you're going to do this for free. Okay. You're not going to charge the client because that ends up being friction. Offer it for free. It will be worth it. There is something in this script that is the most important thing I just told you to say. Can you find it? There's something that I just said that you see on this slide that is the most important hook, we'll call it. What do you think it is? It is, yeah, progress reports. Yes, nailed it, Rochelle. And many doctors are finding this helpful. Jot that down. This is a social psychology technique, I guess a sales technique. Social influence. This is called the bandwagon effect. You call me, I'm Dr. Smith. All of a sudden, you're saying, oh, these other doctors are finding it helpful. Oh, well, yes, please, I want helpful. The bandwagon effect. So make sure to add it in every single script. You can steal this, take a screenshot. Anybody nervous to call? And again, you don't have to, but I'm just curious. Anybody like, the truth is, Nicole, I will never call. Anybody like, just like, it's just no, I don't think I will. I just find that terrifying. I'm afraid to fumble. I probably will never call. Okay, Amelia, let me tell you, I used to be you. Here's what helps if you want to know, and you don't have to call, but what you want to do is ask questions. Did you notice in my script, I say, let me know your preferences? I think all of us are afraid deep down of rejection, of course, because we're human. I think partly we're a little bit afraid that they're going to treat us like we're selling something and hang up on us even, right? Our catastrophizing part tells us that. Here's what you do. Ask questions. Get them, and when you're nervous, get them to talk. What type of mental health clients do you see in your practice? Do you see only in network, or do you, if you're American, or do you see private pay? Because here's the key that I want you to jot down. No one hangs up on themselves. So if they're talking, you throw the hot potato when you're nervous, get them talking. They're not going to hang up on themselves. People like to talk, obviously. That's why we're in this industry. Okay. It's a little hack. It really does work with your nerves. Ask them questions. No one hangs up on themselves. Okay. Let's actually talk. I want to walk you through how this actually works. Every month, for if you have a client that's had at least 3 sessions. So let's say it's December, it's the end of December now, let's pretend. You're going to have your admin, not you. If you don't have an admin yet, then you are the admin. I really would love to help you hire an admin one day. I have lots of episodes on the podcast and I can help you if you ever want to work together. But I'm just going to pretend, I'm going to see you at scale. So I'm going to talk to you like you have an admin, okay? So your admin is going to go in and double check who's had 3 sessions that month. Most people come in weekly. Most people have. Then they, not you, are going to send the progress report to the doctor with consent. We're talking about consent on the next slide. The best part, here's the thing, guys. I did this in my clinic. This is like a 7-figure secret. I didn't talk about it much because we didn't have AI note takers. And nobody wants to write a progress report from scratch. So I thought you would be like, nope, that's way too much work. So I never told you about it. I taught you instead to call the doctors. But now, hello, AI, hello, easy breezy. This is how it works. The therapist, okay. So I'll back up for a sec. The admin is going to have a list of clients who have come this month for at least 3 times, 3 or 4 sessions. They're going to let the therapist know. The therapist is going to use their AI note taker. I love AI Scribe with JNapp. I'm going to talk about JNapp in a sec. Whatever you use, I know a lot of you do. It will take them less than 2 minutes to compile a progress report. What is a progress report? Well, a progress report is taking the last 4 clinical notes and we can call it a summary report, but basically putting together all of what's happened in those sessions. So they spend those 2 minutes doing it, and then the admin sends it off, and we're tracking, of course, who's given consent. But it gets even better. In Jane, I'll drop the link to Jane and then I'll tell you more about it in a second because it helped me grow. It's an EHR that I moved to, the best decision ever. You can fax from inside Jane. So that's the tricky part, right? Where it's like, okay, so now I have this progress report. How do I send it like HIPAA compliant, PHIPAA compliant? It all happens within their chart. Isn't that amazing? I'm not writing. The progress report is being written by AI, and then it's faxed, encrypted, privacy mode directly from the chart. That's why it's easy with Jane. Obviously, if you don't have Jane, and I'll share a bit more about why I moved to Jane, you can just fax. And if you don't have fax, I just signed up for you can fax through your email now. Did you know that? It's pretty cool. Like it's an email, but it ends up as a fax. If you have contractors, tell me in the chat, anybody have contractors? Because this works amazing with W-2s, pay them a little bit of admin time. Honestly, if they do a 50-minute hour, really, they're still going to wrap it up within the hour. It's not going to take a lot of time. Okay, I also had contractors. So what do we do with those? If you're Canadian, you probably have contractors. If you're American, you probably have W-2s. Some of you have 1099s, most of you W-2s. I had a mix. The contractors, you cannot pay to write the progress report. I repeat, you cannot pay. And do you know why? Because the CRA or the IRS will say, oh, well, they're looking a little bit like an employee, and we do not want that, right? We don't want back tax. We don't want payroll issues. So contractors technically have their own business, don't they? If they want to be full, the contractors on my team were like, oh, yeah, how long will it take me? That was the first question. Then I told them, and they're like, you know what? I'll try it. Yes, I'm not fully booked. Sure. I mean, if my AI does it, the admin does the rest, like, sure. Yeah. Just make sure don't pay your contractors. With the IRS, that's important. Let's talk about consent. How do we get the clients to say yes? And I'm going to answer all your questions. We'll hang out at the end too, if I missed anything. Well, let's start with new clients. This is pretty easy. You're going to love this part. All we do is update our consent form. What if on your consent form you ask for the family doctor's name and contact information, but most importantly, got the written consent to send monthly progress reports to their family doctor? Here's the truth. About 50% will say yes. Not everybody will say yes. Couples probably won't say yes. I don't know. Do they want their family doctor to know about the infidelity or the porn addiction? I don't know. Probably not. But who will say yes? Those on medication. 1 in 4 people are, right? So a lot of your clients are. Those who are symptomatic, seasonal affective disorders, sleeping issues, anxiety, depression, trauma, like all of our clients are mostly symptomatic, have some sort of a diagnosis, they will say yes. And remember, month after month, you're sending this and it becomes this beautiful snowball. And honestly, doctors really appreciate it. We did neurofeedback at my clinic. So we had 24 rooms, 55 therapists. We did everything: autism assessment, psychoeds, neurofeedback, family, couples, children, everything, brain spotting, EMDR. And did you know that when somebody is on a diazepam, a sedative, let's say, that it's contraindicated sometimes to do neurofeedback? There's parts of the brain that you don't want sedated in some ways. And that happens with trauma too. Don't we want the doctor to know if they're doing better? And like, they're doing better because of the therapy, that maybe you can decrease their meds. Obviously, we're not ever going to suggest that, but we should be working closely, my friends. You're going to get yeses. Imagine 50% yeses, but remember, every month there's new clients coming in and the 50% of them say yes. That's the snowball. And then the third month, more clients come in, 50% of them say yes. Your admin is going to sending a lot of these out. Every single one of them is like a marketing letter, increasing client care. Let's talk about existing clients. Okay, Nicole, but gosh, I have so many clients. Like, how do I get all of them how can I support them in this? Well, if you have a group practice, this would be you if you don't, the therapist is going to introduce the idea in session. Next session, jot this down, talk to your team about it, remind yourself if it's just you, and ask them, hey, we're offering this service where we would get your written consent. We're now sending progress reports to family doctors. And you can even tie it into their treatment. I think it makes sense for you because of A, B, and C. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, thank you. That's amazing. Yes, please. Collaborative care all day. Then, because they've already signed the consent form, right? Months ago when they started therapy. And just to be safe, we want written consent. You'll have your admin or you'll just send a consent to disclose personal health information, and done. And done. This is the result of the strategies that I share. Jennifer says she's in Mexico. She has 2 kids, overwhelmed mom, and she says to me, thank you for everything you've done for me. I'm on my way to my first solo trip as a clinic owner and mom in Mexico. I wouldn't be here without you. It's setting up these strategies. It's doing the things that nobody else is doing. I hope that you're an early adopter. That means like the things I'm sharing, I haven't told them to a lot of people yet. So like run with this. I want to circle back to Jane. I was with a different EHR practice. We call them in Canada practice management softwares. This is double check if you don't have, Jane. I have a 2-month coupon. And by the way, nobody gives 2 months. So they gave it to me, which is amazing. But double check this. I love Jane because you can fax inside of it, But even better, you know how when they go onto your online booking and they have to create a profile in order to book? Jane asks, make sure this is turned on if you have Jane. How did you hear about us? So you're going to start seeing referrals from family doctors. And here's the thing. When we did the poll at the beginning, some of you said, yes, I get these referrals, but most of you did not. And I wonder if it's because you just don't know that you're just not tracking. Do you think that's possible? Do you know where your clients are coming from? Jane helps you closely track, and that was a game changer for me. And then also, of course, the AI scribe happening right in it and being able to fax directly from it. And the best part, and what honestly, why I really moved, it's cheaper. They're billing, they bill per, like, as you get busier, that's when you get charged more, which I loved as a scaling clinic because I wasn't charged just because I hired a new therapist. They charge based on like clients or busyness. I see all your questions. I'm going to answer them all. Do you want the slides? I know that was like so much information. Do you want the slides? You know what? Jump on my Instagram. If you don't know it, we have to hang out. Nicole.McCants method. You will love it over there. There's 70,000 of us, all therapists. Drop the word day one, will you? And I'll send it. I'll send all of these slides. Just drop the word day one and I'll give them to you. They're yours. One more poll. What tends to slow your growth down the most? Even when you have the information. I gave you a lot of information. Now we're going to go into the Q&A. Now just make sure you actually type day one on Instagram so I can message you back and forth. So jump on Instagram. So what does slow you down? Is it doing everything alone with no one to ask, is this the right step? Or is it getting stuck in overthinking and perfectionism? Or is it losing momentum because no one is actually holding you accountable? Or maybe it's knowing what to do, but not actually doing it consistently because, hey, life gets in the way. My twins are 9 years old now, and life is not less busy. Okay, I would say that most of you, yeah, doing it alone and just no one to ask. That's the winner. What is the next right step? I am full of information, but there is a difference, my beautiful business bestie, between information and implementation. Drop that down, isn't it? Right? You can have tons of information. You know, we know a lot about a lot of things, but we just don't do it, which is why I'm offering you a free 45-minute strategy call. Do you want to just sit on Zoom? These go like hotcakes. So I'm going to drop the link for this free call. I'll explain what it is. If they go quick, just tell us in the chat. We'll try to open them for you. It's a free call where you show up with your questions. I'm going to move into the website audit in a minute, and then I'm spending lots of time with you for Q&A. But if you just want help because you feel lost, I feel so grateful that I have a team of 15 people and I can offer this. People don't offer free calls anymore. Anyone have one already? I'd love for you to share. Mike is wonderful, Dr. Ella. They're transformational. Some of you show up with like 50 questions. That would be me, by the way. Like, okay, about this, I have a question about my website about that. How do I do this? Tell me more about that. And then some of you show up and you don't have questions because you're early on. I work with people who are still finishing up their dissertation or still in their practicum. I also work with people, someone just joined my program with 25, 30 therapists on their team. It doesn't matter where you are. This will be the best call. I just remember I was so overwhelmed that the call changed everything. There's no way I would be in front of you if I didn't book a call with an expert to say, I really want to grow something. I know I'm meant for something so big. I just didn't learn a thing about marketing. Please help. I personally found I had blind spots inside my practice that I needed somebody outside my practice to point out. And I do have a 6-month business coaching program. If you're interested, they'll tell you about it, and specifically if you're a good fit. Let's build momentum together. So I'm going to get into the websites in just a sec. Action is scary, which is why I'm going to be with you for 3 full days and why we have the group. I'm jumping into the group right after our time together. Who's coming tomorrow? Remind me one last time who will be here. Just so because I'm literally paying attention. Okay, amazing. Danielle, Rose. Hi, Rose. So good. Okay, so many of you. I also, before I get into the website, tomorrow is a full hour of websites, Q&A, and another website audit. I'm going to be mentioning things in a minute when I do the website audit that you haven't learned yet because you're going to come tomorrow and change your website and increase your conversion rate. Okay. So some questions might come up, but don't worry. I'm going to give you everything tomorrow about websites. We're going to drop the link for the group one last time. And congrats. Oh my gosh. Congrats to all of those who booked their call. You will absolutely love my team. Okay, shall we? Or actually, hold on, before we get into the website audit, I just want to mention the times. So tomorrow at noon Eastern, we meet again, day 2. Specifically, the top website mistakes to avoid. A bad website is a little bit like a bad haircut. You don't really know you have one until later. My mom gave me a mullet and permed it when I was 9 years old. I don't think anybody can beat that bad haircut. It's like one of those things, right? You're like, oh, it's fine. And then it's not. A website's a little bit like that. I think you're going to love what you learn. And then day 3, which is Friday at noon Eastern, the zero cost marketing that helped me reach 7 figures. Okay. Now let's see. I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm sure Maddie has added. Thank you, Maddie. All right. Who wants to know whose website I'm looking at? Felicia Bibot. Did I say it right? Are you here, Felicia? I hope you are. Felicia. I'm going to show your website right here, and I'm going to give you all the goods. Guys, take notes because probably you have, yay, Felicia. Okay. And again, this is recorded, which is amazing. I'm going to share my screen. There you go. So you can come back to this. Love the colors. So good. Moon Sage Psychology. I'm just going to press the video for one quick sec. Okay. Amazing. So we're going to talk tomorrow about some of this. In general, what I'm looking at, guys, is above the fold. So what I mean is when you land on a website, before you scroll down, this is above the fold. So whatever I see here needs to hook me or I'll probably bounce. We know that. This is the world we live in. So before I move, Felicia, I just want to kind of share what I'm thinking. So welcome to, and then it tells me your practice name. I would remove that. And instead, I would share specifically what you do, because it's a little bit of a waste of real estate, Felicia, because I already see your practice name on the top left corner. Does that make sense? So for a lot of you, I would not say welcome to the site. It's just a waste of real estate. Instead, I want to know how you're going to help me. We serve families, couples, and teens, helping them live a life with ease, like coming up with some sort of a hook. In general, faces are 30 to 50% more clickable. Jot that down. I'm going to explain what that means. Faces. So I don't see a face above the fold. I would suggest a face, Felicia. If you work with couples, let's just see who you work with. Services, individual, adult. Okay, perfect. So mostly adults. So in your case, I would suggest you have a picture of somebody who looks happy. It needs to be an aspirational picture with where the therapy is going to take me. Okay. And I would move this way down. Really good. I support. Perfect. Healing. Yes. So this is great. I would just move what you do up. Now, love the picture. I don't know if you'll eventually have a group, but eventually, if you have a group, guys, we don't want to promote because I help what I do, my day job is I help people scale into group practices. Um, Eventually, if you hire, you want the faces of the people that are the least busy because we're going to promote them. Okay. So, ways that we work together. This is really good. This is perfect. I like the icons. Again, I would swap this out, Felicia, for faces. We'll talk like a bit more tomorrow about that. But I also just want to see. So you'll notice she has a button on the top right corner. This is good. Typically, you want that button in a different color. Why? It's going to draw my eye up to the CTA. You could put this in yellow, or if you have like another color, Felicia, I would put this in that color. And then I'm going to click, and then it takes me. So you use Jane. Amazing. So immediately I know she uses Jane because it's pretty. Jane is just looks good. What I like about Jane, you can write notes up here. I feel, Felicia, this might be a lot of notes. I would trim this into one sentence because if you watch, when I'm above the fold, I don't see your calendar yet. Does that make sense? And tomorrow I'll show you an example of a good calendar. You want them to come and see your face right away. One thing I suggest for all of you when you go to Jane, what I love about it is you click and then it shows your calendar. I would suggest offering free consults. And you would offer right away, I see your face. This is why I love Jane, because it's a mini Psychology Today profile. I see your face. Oh, there's your bio. So perfect. And then, okay, boom, you're going to push me to a free consult. So hopefully that is helpful, a little mini website audit. And tomorrow we're spending a whole hour on it. Let me know if that was helpful, Felicia, because I want to save a good 10 minutes for Q&A because I gave you a whole lot of things for family doctors. Amazing. Good. All right, Maddie, is there questions?
Yes, we do. All right, so we'll get started. The first one comes from Reese, who asked, how do you get the doctor on the phone versus saying that script to just an admin?
Yes. So here's what I would do. You and I teach this all day long. You're going to ask for the clinic manager. But before Reese, you ask for the clinic manager because you're right. It's not the decision maker. And you're not going to ask for the doctor because, of course, they're with patients, but there's typically what I call the clinic manager. But before I do that, guess what I do? Here's a hack. I name drop. Here's what I mean. Hi, hi, doctor. Okay, so let's say they pick up the phone. Good afternoon, Dr. So-and-so's clinic. Hi, this is Nicole McCants, clinical psychologist when I wasn't retired. Do you see that? I name drop. I drop right away my title. Why? Because I'm creating similarity and reciprocity. I'm not just somebody selling pharmaceuticals or the next medical device. They're going to say, oh, it's a psychologist. I wonder if it's somebody that we work with, who is this? And now they're listening. And then I ask for the clinic manager. Sometimes they say, oh, Mary, she's only in on Thursdays at 10. Amazing. Okay, perfect. I will call back Thursdays at 10, or I might even drop in and you can kind of sort out whether you want to just show up or talk to Mary or the clinic manager. And then once you do, boom, you're in and you can ask the rest. Let me know if that's helpful.
Awesome. Our next question comes from Bernie, who asked, I'm curious if this would work well for my couples clients that also have individual counselors.
Yes. So, Bernie, I'm assuming you have a group. Let me know in the chat where they're doing couples therapy. That's what happened in my clinic a lot because there was so many therapists. They would see one for couples and then they would each go and do their individual. Um, so yeah, for sure. I think that I would have their individual I'm solo, so I just see the couple and refer out the individual. Got it. But do you want to hire one day, Bernie? I will, as a side note, I got so sick of constantly referring out. Imagine, and I can help you with this, hiring someone who can actually see those people. And guess what happened? My couples started getting better faster. All the treatment was happening inside my group practice, right? And then we were actually moving because they were actually getting the therapy that they needed because it was so easy. It was a one-stop shop, as a side note. Um, that's going to be tricky. You mostly want to ask your client for consent, and then you send the progress report. You can still ask them though. I think there will be couples who say yes, so you can still ask them. But if you're not doing the individual therapy and that's being referred out, then you would just ask about the therapy you're doing.
Awesome. The next question comes from Jess about websites. When you said a clickable face, is your face appropriate, or should we stick to the happy general stock photo?
Really good. Are you coming tomorrow? I'm going to literally show you a member in my program, her website, which you're going to be obsessed with. I'm going to show you. Okay, amazing. So hopefully you can be here. Let me know. Um, excuse me, sorry, I'm just getting over a cold still. So, two things. It in general, apparently Google does like real photos. You'll notice the website examples I show you tomorrow are stock photos. The reason you could use your photo for sure, but you're going to use a bunch of different photos you'll see tomorrow. So obviously, they're not all going to be you. The only reason I didn't want to use me is when I scaled to 55 therapists, I wanted to get them busy. I stopped seeing clients and eventually stopped supervising and eventually just worked a lot less. So think at scale, Jess. Think of you not right now, but at scale. Do you want your face all over the website? It might actually be, wait, if I think about me at scale, it's a no.
Right. Our next question comes from NY. Please feel free to drop your name in the chat if you're comfortable. I believe this is in regards to the calling family doctors,
Mm.
but can I say therapist or would I say licensed clinical social worker?
Yes, licensed clinical social worker. I wouldn't say therapist. Licensed clinical social worker. It took you a really long time to get there. They know the healthcare world. They may not know exactly how long you went to school, but they're going to know, oh, wow, okay, this is somebody that we might already partner with. Somebody, I work with healthcare professionals. So, yeah, I'm going to pay attention to this person. Say the whole thing.
Amazing. Our next question comes from Summer, who asked, as a group practice, how can we get our therapist to do the progress reports?
Yes, as a group practice. Okay. How many people do you have, Summer? Let me know. And do you have W-2s? Do you have employees, Summer, or contractors? I suggest monthly team meetings. If we ever work together, I can teach you all the things of how to persuade. Because honestly, let's be honest, being a clinic owner takes persuasion. It's like being influenced, right? How do we influence the people to do the things we want them to do? You have 10 therapists. Okay, 1099 contractors. So out of the 55 therapists, probably 49 were contractors. And side note, don't do what I did. Don't tell the IRS, I didn't know. You know how you don't know if you're doing something wrong? This is why I have a program to teach you the right way. But I had a mix of employees and contractors. Don't do that. We can get into that later if you ever want to. I would have a team meeting. I'm sure you run those. I would share the vision and get their buy-in that we want to stand out from the crowd in a time that is needed. We're going to offer this free service that will improve client care and get you busy. And if they're paid hourly, they're probably not salaried, right? Most of them aren't. Then they're going to be like, "Oh, wow, okay, yes." If you tie it into what's in it for them, more clients, busyness. Now, here's the thing though. If you have a group practice and you have therapists that are booked, they don't need to do it because they're booked solid. Why would they? Right? So they get to choose. But let's say me, I still need 5 clients to be 100% booked or whatever it is. I'm going to be offering this. So really tie it into what's in it for them. Then you're going to walk them through how the admin will support them. It won't take a lot of time. And I think you're going to get yeses, even though you don't pay them. You really will, especially if they're the right people on your team and you did a good job hiring. I teach hiring because hiring is the hardest part, as I know you know.
Amazing. Our next question is from Lisa, who asked, can you explain how to have my AI scribe generate the summary and then fax it to the doctors?
Yes. So Lisa, you use Jane, right? Let me know if you do. Mm, amazing. Okay, good. So Jane's amazing with workarounds. Um, I would reach out, they're so good. I would reach out and just get the nuance, but you can basically like verbally, you can turn on the AI scribe and verbally just, not you or your therapist, walk through the progress reports, like what's happened. So it's been this many sessions, this is the treatment, this is the progress. You say it and then the AI scribe types it. That's the way to do it. Jane is working on because some other AI note takers do this where it automatically just does it for you. But right now you have to do it verbally. So the nuance, if you book a strategy call, they can answer that. Okay. Did you understand that? Perfect. Now, faxing, it's like an add-on through Jane. So of course, it's a reasonable rate, but you have to contact Jane, say, I'd like to add fax. And it's so easy. Like a couple of buttons and boom, the doctor received it. And I just feel less worried because sometimes when it's clunky, I just worry about privacy. So I love that it all happens there.
All right. Our next question is from Celine, who asked, how can I get started in hiring psychotherapists, coaches, or students with limited funds?
Yes. Celine, did you book a call? Congratulations to all of those who did. I'm so excited for you, honestly. Oh my gosh. Amanda, Ed, Gemma, Celine. Do you remember Romper Room? Is anybody old enough to know that? I feel like we're on Romper Room. You might be too young. Oh, good. You do Celine. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Um, really great question. Celine, I was you. The babies were coming. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the money. So what I did is, and by the way, I don't suggest hiring coaches. Out of like I've over 1,000 therapists I've worked with, therapy is always the moneymaker. It's not coaching. So your first hire, I would suggest, is a therapist, but it's it's not going to cost you anything to hire, right? What's going to cost you is to get them full. Your biggest cost will be your website. But here's the thing, tomorrow I'm going to give you a lot of free stuff. And on the strategy call, little secret, they'll also do a website audit for you if you're like, hey, can you help? I have questions about what I need to change. Um, I love Jane sites. So Jane actually just released websites. I'll put a link to a coupon for you. It's a really, really good templated website that is way cheaper than a lot of the other ones. So start with your website. I don't know if it needs tweaking, but you'll find that out tomorrow. And then it's just once you have a good website and you get going with these progress reports, then just start small. It's the first step. Just hire one. That's what I did, just one. It was a practicum student. I was a baby boss, terrified. So I hired a baby therapist. So I was like, not, I can take care of a practicum student. And if you can supervise, then a practicum student might work. And if not, just hire someone fully licensed. But I would book a strategy call. This is literally all the things that they'll tell you that I did in my recommendations.
Awesome. Our next question comes from Xiao Benny. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And they asked, I'm just struggling to get clients in. How can I connect with clinic managers before I have clients?
This is where you call. So here's what I would do. If you have some extra time, I would go on Google and do like a geolocation search and find every single doctor's office. This is what I did in your area. Then you're going to just call, say the script that I give, name drop, right? This is Xiao Benny. I'm a registered psychologist, whatever, registered psychotherapist, whatever you are. And then ask for the clinic manager. And then, because this is such a good question. Well, Nicole, I don't have clients to send the progress reports to. This is what you're saying, right? My first thing is, have you ever seen a client? Because I would email them to see if they can come back in. And once they do, then you're going to ask for consent. Every single new client that comes in, you're going to ask for consent. But if you have zero clients and you've never seen a client, you're going to call. That's what I did. You're going to call. It can feel a lot, but we can support you in the group, book the strategy session. They'll give you tweaks and like help. Um, and if you call enough people, the referrals will start coming in. It's like doing the hard things. But I always told myself, you know what? If I do the hard things that no one does, I wonder if I'll get the results that no one does. And I did.
All right, our next question comes from Danielle, who asked, would cutting and pasting a Psych MD's progress notes work as progress report?
I'm assuming, Danielle, in your practice, you have a Psych MD, right? Um, progress notes. Oh, a really important part that I didn't say. My bad. I'm so sorry about this. So this is going to answer your question, then I'll circle back to the question too. Only an MD. Okay. The double check with your regulatory board, because my regulatory board of psychologists in Canada or in Ontario says that the therapist does have to review the progress report before it's sent out ethically. They need to know what it says, which is why we don't have admin. Well, they shouldn't be doing that anyway for privacy, but like coming and cutting and pasting and like doing it for us. We're not doing that. The therapist is using an AI scribe. The therapist is quickly reviewing it and it's off. And the therapist is like, okay, that makes sense. That's accurate, you know? So when I see cutting and pasting, I don't know. But if it's the actual full note, and of course you got consent and the MD reviews it, I think that could work. If it's already a progress report, why not? Yeah, totally. I would do it. Hmm.
Awesome. Our next question comes from Amanda, who asks, is it difficult to get family doctors to refer out to those who are only private pay?
Thank you, Amanda. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, I was hoping this question would come up. Okay. The truth is, in America, most family doctors are what? They're in network. A lot of people are in network, which is great. I would say 50% of the people in my program, my coaching program, are in network, but a lot of them are dropping the low panels and doing a hybrid approach. Here's what I want you to check, Amanda. And this is also why I love Jane, because it tracks your referrals. So I don't know. I think Simple Practice does this. I'm curious what you use for your EHR. Um, but double check if you have a referral report, okay? Then pull that. Here's what I want you to do. Think about your best clients, the private pay ones that come weekly, that pay your rate, that do the work. Then guess what you're going to do? Ask them who their doctor is. All your private pay people have doctors. Go find them. They're the doctors that you want. So rather than, because you're right, it is difficult to find family doctors who refer to private pay. So it's not going to be as easy as doing a geolocation and just calling, but you're going to do it backwards. We're reverse engineering it. You're going to go through your practice management and be like, oh, okay, yeah, definitely this one, this one, this one. Okay, perfect. And then you're going to say, are you okay if I send this free service out, progress report to your doctor with your consent? They say yes, and you tally them up. And that gets bigger and bigger every month. because every private pay person that comes, you're going to ask, do you love it? Amanda, tell me in the chat, do you love it? I'm pretty excited.
Awesome. We have a question from Chanel who asks, I'm curious how to translate these strategies for assessment work, including hiring, psychometrics.
Yes. Mm. So assessments, do you just do assessments? So we did assessments, we did autism, psychoeds, just like the general psychological ones, primary assessments. Okay. I I mean, honestly, in some ways, wouldn't this be a little bit easier? Because if you think about it, what is the result of an assessment? It's typically a diagnosis. So typically, when they have the diagnosis, they want, like my kids both have ADHD. It's a fun time over here. And immediately, who did I send those reports to? The doctor. So what you could do is make it even easier for the parents. And this, I would just ask. Absolutely. So 100%, I think this could even be easier because they're like, oh my God, we finally have an answer. Thank you so much. Help us treat this now and tell the other treatment providers as well. And usually with diagnoses, there's like ADHD, et cetera. There's medication involved. So I see that as like an easy yes.
Awesome. And we have one last question from Ashley who asked, how often should progress notes be sent?
Yes. Every month, your admin is going to go through, and this is important. You want to check who's actually in a month had at least 3 sessions, hopefully 4 if they come weekly. You don't want to send like one session. Do you know what I mean? So every month, you're going to check every month. So if I come in for a whole treatment plan, like I've had clients, I'm sure you do too, I was in practice like over 15 years near the end that came in every week for like years. So I would be sending a progress report for them once a month. Now, that might feel like a lot, but I don't think so. I think I want that doctor to think of you every month. So for that client who comes in, they're going to get another update about them. Now you can skip it if there's like not much, like it's kind of like, well, that seems a bit repetitive. I'll wait 6 weeks or 8 weeks, kind of like fine tune it. But we know people forget about us quick. So I think monthly isn't too much personally.
Awesome. That's all the questions that we have moved over.
Amazing. Guys, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of all of you. I can't wait for my team, Haley and Mike, you're going to love them. They'll even do a website audit, which you will love. Thank you for coming. Congratulations for booking a strategy call. And I will see you tomorrow. But before you go, will you drop a word? How are you feeling? Drop a word. Is it hopeful? Is it inspired? Is it motivated? Inspired, optimistic, motivated, very grateful. Danielle, I'm grateful you're here. Ah, received, relieved. Ah, this just makes me so happy, guys. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'm going to jump in the Facebook group now, okay? So we're going to drop that. There it is. It's kind of getting pushed up, but we're hanging out over there, and I will see you tomorrow at noon. See you then. Bye.